Good morning, good morning, good morning, my friends and my families and my well-wishers. Good morning to you. How are you? I hope this world find you in great health and wealth. Because if you got health, then you're wealthy. Yeah, if you got health, then you're healthy. But anyway, it's your boy African, FRICONN, coming to you again with another beautiful video and a beautiful day. I woke up this morning and it rained outside. Maybe that's why I slept so peaceful last night, because it rained, and you know when it rains, you always sleep peacefully. Well, that's my philosophy anyway, because you know, we grew up in Jamaica where we had zinc metal roof or zinc roof on our houses, and the best time, the best time, you know, as a kid growing up in Jamaica, the best time we ever had was when it rains. When it rains, we you know, we find all different type of things to do. You know, like push barrow, cartwheeling, just running in the rain, you know, a lot of stuff that we did as kids. You know, we found a whole lot of different activities to do when it rains back then in Jamaica. Anyway, once again, my name is African, and I'm coming to you with another beautiful video, another beautiful story. But before I get into the video, there's a couple of people that I have to send shout out to. I have to say shout out to Twitter, shout out to Instagram, shout out to Facebook, um, for having me on your platform, and showing me love. I appreciate, and but most of all, I have to say big thank you to YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to hear my voice and tell my story here on your platform. I don't know if I ever gonna meet the CEO, the owner, the president, the CEO of YouTube, but I'm telling you, you know, if you're a male or a female CEO, thank you very much for hosting me on your platform and giving me this opportunity to you know, go forward. You know, thank you, YouTube. Thank you. You know, I love and appreciate you guys for you know, giving me that opportunity. Um, so yeah, guys, I have a story to tell, and this story, it's not a story. I mean, I'm telling it as a story, but these things that I'm telling you guys, it happened in real life. You know, these are not something that I'm making up. You know, I'm telling you these things because these are my life experience, and you know, you know, if you follow me, yeah, I'm gonna be doing a video, you know, on my life story, my journey, you know, as a boy transforming into a teenager and transforming into a man. And you know, was life easy growing up? Sometimes it was, and sometimes it wasn't. But hey, it you know, it comes with the territory, you know. And the real reason why I'm doing this video is because, you know, we always have this saying that you know, it's a small world. I know the universe is huge, it's, you know, gigantic, but at the end of the day, it's a small world, because you might meet somebody today, tomorrow, in Europe, in America, in the Caribbean, in, you know, the continent of Africa, and, you know, a year, 10 years down the line, you run into that same person and you're like, wow, wow, I met you 10 years ago. Man, this is a small world. Um, but yeah, you know, this video is gonna be very inspirational, and I won't be happy if I don't tell you guys this story. I can't let this just pass by, and because like I said, we're still in the month of November, and I'm bigging up the month of November, because I was born in November, and I believe that November is a special month because we have two of the biggest holidays in the history of America, which is President's Day and Veterans Day. And one of my videos that I did, I told you guys that they should change this month from just having one day as Veterans Day and turn it into Veterans Month. Yeah, so all my subscribers out there, share this video, like this video, comment on this video, subscribe to this video, and don't be afraid to comment, and let me know if there's anything I can improve on, but yeah, one thing I don't want you guys to ask me to improve on is my accent. Yeah, because I guess that's why people love me, and I live in this country for years, for a long time, and people approach me and they're like, when I speak to them, they're like, where are you from? I'm like, Jamaica, and they're like, I knew it, I love your accent, don't ever change it, I love your accent. And I'm like, I'm not trying to change my accent, this is who I am. There are people all over the world that speak different languages, but they adapt to the English language, but they never change their accent or their language, because your language is who you are. It's a part of your culture. It represents who you are and where you're from. That language wasn't given to us. We were born with that language. We were born with that accent. We grew up with that accent. I try to speak as proper English language as I can, so the general public can understand what I'm saying. And in my opinion, I think I'm doing pretty good with the English language, because I approach a lot of people that they barely speak a word. I work with people that don't speak one single word in English, except no, no. You ask them something and they're like, no. Some can't even say yes. They say no, but they got their language and they stick with their language and they stick with their culture. But anyway, yeah, I think I'm gonna name this video "It's a Small World," because indeed it's a small world. Because I went to the gas station yesterday to get gas and a few necessary groceries that I need for the house and stuff like that. And I went into the store and I bought my groceries and my amenities and stuff like that, and I came back out and was pumping some gas and stuff like that. And I don't know if it's the spirit of the ancestors that brought me and this man together to start talking. But I know a New Yorker when I see a New Yorker, because I grew up in New York, Brooklyn to be exact. Big up Brooklyn, big up Bed-Stuy. That's one of the city that I love. But even though I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, I will never trade Florida for New York. No, sir. Not anytime soon. I will never trade Florida, because I love Florida. Florida reminds me of Jamaica. Florida reminds me of home. And to everyone out there, here in America and all around the world, Florida is the place to be, baby. Florida is the place to be. The beaches, you got beautiful white sand beaches, beautiful resorts that's very reasonable. Um, Wonderful staffs. There's so many, you know, natural attractions here for you to see. We got alligators, snakes, the birds, the water, fishing. It all happens here in Florida. So Florida is the place to be all year round, all year round. Yeah, we have a little hurricane here and there, and a little storm here and there, but we Floridonians, and when push come to shove, we come together, and we rebuild each other. We rebuild each other. That's why we Floridonians are, the best people, are one of the best people in the world, because we welcome all, we welcome everyone. It doesn't matter where you're from. You're always welcome to Florida, and yeah, I'm putting Florida on the map because this is, my third home away from home, as a Jamaican coming to New York and then moving from New York to Florida. Yeah, I've been to other states. But, I don't feel that homely, present like I'm here in Florida, and everybody just treat you with love and respect. It doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. So I'm there at the pump, and I don't know what happened. I don't know what sparked the conversation, but I believe what happened. I think I'm trying to remember what happened, because I don't want to lie to you guys. I really don't want to lie to you guys. Yeah, I was pumping my gas, and for some reason or another, the nozzle fell out of my tank and fell on the ground. But you get a little bit lazy sometimes when you're pumping your gas. So what you do, you press the trigger, and to hold the gas so it could continuously pump the gas while you're doing something else. It fell out, the nozzle fell out with the gas still pumping, and it was, fluid all over my tire, my fender and all of that stuff. And the guy next to me, he was also pumping his gas, and I turned my back, I put my back on my car, facing my car, turn my back to my car, and and I'm on my phone as usual. And yeah, so it's like, wow. And he said, it fell out, and I'm like, oh, so I quickly got it and put it back in and everything like that. And but his accent sparked something, because immediately he spoke, I knew he was from New York. I don't, what part of New York, I don't know, and I'm not sure, but I knew he was from New York. So I said, you're from New York, man? He was like, yeah. I'm like, we're in New York. He was like, Jamaica, Queens. And I was like, huh? Oh man, I'm from New York too, man. I grew up in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy. It was like, Bed-Stuy. I stationed there for a couple of years, and I'm like, you're a cop? I was like, yeah, I'm just here and on vacation, man, and I'm living the best of it. It's a long vacation, well due, and all of that stuff. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm from Brooklyn, and I love Brooklyn. I love Brooklyn. I love the other cities, but Brooklyn is like, the culture never goes away from people of the Caribbean or people from European country or Africa. This is like a city that they keep their culture. And we Jamaicans and we Caribbean people, and we are known for one of the biggest festivals that ever take place in New York City. And he was like, yeah, man, because I always been at the festival, and I see how you guys roll when it comes to Labor Day parade and all of that stuff, man, and it's beautiful and I love it, and I'm like, yeah, okay. And so we talk and everything like that, man. And I'm like, so he was like, so why did you leave New York and come to Florida to live? I'm like, there was so many things happening in New York. There was so many things happening there, and yeah, I mean, the crime had gone down for a bit, but I believe that if I stayed in New York, I wouldn't survive. You know, there's so many things that happened to me in New York. Coming, I was working at KFC, and earning little but nothing, and I'm coming home and I got robbed at gunpoint. Up until this day, they haven't found the person who did it. On my jewelry. That's why I barely wear jewels, man. I just wear this watch because it's a medical watch, and I wear it to monitor my heartbeat. See, it's a Samsung. I'm not a flashy guy. I just wear it so I could monitor my heart rate, and other stuff like that, and track my steps and all of that stuff. So that's why I really wear it. But I barely wear jewelry these days because at that night, I'm telling myself, oh my God, man, they robbed me for the little money that I had, robbed me for my jewels and all that stuff, and I could have lost my life for vanity. I could have lost my life for vanity. So yeah, and then other stuff happened. I kept on going, but there was other stuff going. Like I was just going down this slope. Like okay, there was no point of return unless I get out. So I moved to Florida a couple of years ago, 15 years ago, 16 years ago, I can't remember. But yeah, and he's like, so how you loving it, Florida? I'm like, man, I love it, man. This reminds me of home. It's like, I'm from Jamaica and I moved here to New York and then moved to Florida. And Florida is like Jamaica. We have everything that we have here, we have it in Jamaica. The beaches, white sand beaches, and high-rising buildings, and the way the city is set up is like it's the same thing in Jamaica. So I love it here, and it was like, well, maybe one day I'll maybe buy a boat down here and live on the boat and the water because I like those kind of stuff. I'm like, man, you gotta come. I mean, anytime you want to retire from the force, man, this is the place for you to, make your final destination. And he said, talking to you, you kind of look a bit familiar to me, man. I know it's been years, but you kind of look familiar to me. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, you're a cop, and cops are good with faces, and their memories is always intact. So yeah, you probably might remember me. And it was like, yeah, you do remember, you do look familiar to me, man. You do look familiar. You look like the guy that I gave a ticket a couple of years ago for non-insurance, and it turns out that it wasn't a non-insurance. It was just overlook of the policy, and I was like, I'm trying to remember, because I'm an old man, and there's a lot of things that I remember, and there's a lot of things I don't remember. I remember a lot of things growing up, and I don't remember things that happened last week or last month or last year. So it is what it is. It's how the memory, the brain works. And not sometimes it work in sync and sometimes it work out of sync. So I'm like, And then, you know, I recall and I'm like, yeah, I do remember you, man. I do remember you, bro. You the cop, you the very cop that gave me the ticket that evening for when I was driving my Liberty taxi. It was a snowy day, and I can't remember. I think I accidentally was driving on a road, and the road was a one-way. But because it was snowing, and it was snowing so bad that winter season, that, you know, cars was barely on the road, and I was bringing this passenger, and I was driving because, you know, New York has one way up and one way down, and I accidentally took the wrong turn and was going up the wrong way. And, you know, I don't know where you guys came from out of nowhere, but you and your partner came up the one way behind me and stopped and pulled me over. And it was embarrassing for me because I had passengers in the car. Like I said, I owned a livery cab that back then, and, you know, we did the dollar ride thing. You could carry up to 4 or 5 passengers, you know, 3, 4, 5 passengers. And even though we say it's a dollar cab, but, you know, it depends on where you pick the person up from. You pay $2, $2, $3, you know. And I said, yeah, man, I do remember you, bro. And yeah, and what happened is that I did had insurance, but I had a company back then that was ripping me off big time, because when you're driving a taxi that you own, or a livery cab, or a dollar bus, it's like you have to pay 2 insurance. You pay a regular insurance for the regular car, and then you have to pay for the taxi, even though you have to go to the state of New York department and get your chauffeur license and all that stuff. And so it costs a lot of money, you know, anywhere you take it. And when you drive in taxis and dollar cabs and like that, it's like the price of the insurance, it doubles or triples. So yeah, and then I switched over to another company. But back then I didn't know that when you switch from one company to the other, you have to either call the DMV and show proof of insurance that you switch from one company to the other and you have insurance, and or you go down to the insurance, you down to the DMV in person and show them proof of insurance that you do have insurance, but you switch from one company to the next company. So yeah, and you gave me a ticket, man. You gave me a ticket for non-insurance. You gave me a ticket for non-insurance. And back then you couldn't pay online. You couldn't pay your ticket online. You had to go to the court in person and pay it. And when I went to the court to pay for the ticket, they took my license and they suspended my license for 5 years, bro. 5 years they suspended my license for driving with insurance, but fail to provide proof. So guys, if you're with an insurance company and you believe that that insurance company is charging you way too much and you want to switch from one company to another, I'm not going to really call no insurance name, just to keep myself safe and to keep them safe, but they know themselves and they know what I'm talking about. If they ever watch this video, they know what I'm talking about and who they are. And if you ever have an insurance company and you think they're ripping you off, or, you know, they're charging you too much and you want to switch from one company to the other company, just when you switch to the next company and you get all your documentation intact and you get everything straight, you could call the DMV, we down here we call it the tax collectors department. You could call your tax collectors department or the DMV. You could visit them in person and show them proof of insurance, that you have insurance and you had a company that you was with and you switch from one company to the next company. Okay. Just keep that in mind, because things do happen, and it's not the job of the insurance company to follow up on you to see if you have insurance company insurance policy, and it's not the job of well, back then I knew, back then it was mandatory for insurance company to inform the DMV that the person or persons who had insurance with them is no longer with them, but they had gone to another company, and they provide the proof of insurance and the proof of transfer from their company to the next company. Things change. Things change over the years. Things change, but like I said, man, the world is changing, and you gotta change with the world. This is evolution. The world grows, we grow. We gotta grow with evolution. So yeah, my driver's license was suspended for 5 years, and and every day I used to sit and just laugh about it, man, because I'm looking at my suspended driver's license, and it's already in the record book, and I went to court and I tried to fight it, to say, listen, man, I have insurance, and you guys still suspend my license, even and their report was that I have no insurance because it wasn't like a State Department that checked and run and make a thoroughly investigation to see, okay, yeah, he does have insurance. It was just a police officer. And when he goes in his car and he put my information in, it shows that I had no insurance. So my driver's license was taken from me, and it was suspended, and for 5 years, man, I couldn't drive for 5 years. Can you imagine that? But luckily for me, I was living in New York, where the bus is just one stop away, the train is just one stop away, dollar cabs are still there. So you could that's one of the things that I love about New York. Because you don't have a car, you don't have to worry, man. You ain't got to worry about nothing, because everything is there. The train, the bus, the dollar cab, dollar van. Big up the dollar van massive, man. Big up you guys from Utica, man. I love you guys, man. You guys are amazing. Come rain, come shine, snow, man. You guys are the ones who, like, the final frontier, who get people from point A to point B. It doesn't matter how snowy it is, or how bad it is, man. You dollar guys and dollar cab guys just get out there, because how we do it, back in the day. I don't know if things change now, because most of these dollar cab guys now are, they're no longer old school guys. They're these young guys who, like, okay, it's snowing outside, it's raining outside, I'm gonna park my cab outside and just leave it and stay in bed and wrap up with my woman, and spend some time with my child and my children, and watch some TV and eat some food, and ordering some Chinese food or whatever the case may be, or pizza. We New Yorkers, man, so how we do it. But anyway, yeah, my driver's license got suspended, man, and I couldn't, that's one of the real reason. Not the main reason, but one of the reasons why I moved from, from New York to Florida, because I think when I moved here, I still had like another year on my driver's license. But no, guys, yeah. I moved 1 year after my suspension was lifted, because I couldn't move to no other state. I couldn't move, You know, even though I could use my passport to travel to different states, but I couldn't drive. So I was like, I don't have no driver's license, man, so I'm staying here in New York. I'm going to stay in New York and I'm going to ride out the 5 years. And, you know, after the 5 years, I'm going to, you know, find me another destination. So, yeah, I did stay in New York until it was lifted, and I still had to go to court, guys, even though you know, it got suspended and I had to wait for 5 years. I still had to go to court and pay the $500, man. I still had to pay the $500 just to get my driver's license, the suspension lifted and all of that. And you know, and yeah, I just I wanted to do it for fun. The documents and everything that I had. And I'm gonna tell you, big up this judge. Big up this judge. The judges that you see sit in the courthouse, they're not good people. You know, some might be bad people and some might be good people. You know, depends on how you look at it. But man, you know, I wish I could do a story on him, man, because it was, you know, beautiful and wonderful what he did for me, man. Because here am I trying to get my driver's license back and prepare myself to get out of New York. And you know, I brought the money. To pay for to go to the clerk of court and pay and get my driver's license straightened out and stuff like that. And I knew I had to still go and pay to get a new driver's license at the DMV. So, you know, I brought the documents to him, you know, because like I said, dude, guys, if it's even one piece of paper with just one line of proof of something that you can prove that you own this bottle of water, guys, do it. Because I took those documents from 5 years ago and brought it in front of the judge. And, you know, he put his little glasses down, you know, and, you know, he looked very carefully and read whatever and put his finger on his head and he like, And he said, you know, Mr., you know, I'm not going to call my last name on, you know, here, but he said, Mr., you know, I'm looking at these documents and I see that you are correct. You're 100% absolutely correct. Absolutely 100% correct. You did have proof of insurance, but I know it's the duty of the insurance company to inform the DMV and update your record. But you know, you can't rely on them. What you should have done was bring these proof of insurance to your DMV, your local DMV, and let them know that you switched insurance company and all that. And you know, but now looking at this as, you know, as a judge, you know, a member of the bar, you know, I can't see these documents and overlook them. So, you know, you know, on behalf of you know, the DMV and on behalf of the Bar Association, we do apologize for this misconception that happened to you. Sincerely, we apologize, and I'm not gonna charge you that $500 today, and I'm gonna give you a recommendation that when you go to the DMV, they make a speedy recovery of all this, and make sure you get your driver's license in a speedy and a timely manner. And you know, I said, thank you, Your Honor, thank you, sir, thank you, I do really appreciate. So, you know, like I said again, man, it's a very small world, because you know, sometimes you see things, my brothers and my sisters, sometimes you see things and you know, it spark a memory, or you see someone that you met a couple years ago, or you know, you see someone that looks like that person, and you know, from one conversation to another, man, you start going back down into memory lane. And I'm like, oh my God, man, this is like 16, 18 years ago. 16, I can't remember, but I know it's a long time. It's a couple of years that I met this man. And he's still an active police officer, by the way, in New York City. Big up the New York City police department, man. You know, big you guys up. You know, and I know it's been a rough ride, but you guys have done amazing job in the past while I was living in New York. I'm not sure about now if you know, things change, but you know, yeah. Even though you guys didn't find the guys that robbed me, my jewelry and my money, and put a gun to my head, and say the only reason he didn't kill me because he's Jamaican, and because I'm Jamaican, and he's from Jamaican, and I'm like, dude, I'm a Jamaican, you are a Jamaican, and you're here trying to put a gun. Dude, you know how we grew up in Jamaica, you know it was a struggle, bro, and you come to New York, and I'm here in New York, and you wanna kill me now? Dude, you wanna kill me for a couple bucks? Yeah. I'm not bashing my country, man. I'm not bashing my country, really. I'm not really bashing my country, Jamaica. But, you know, Jamaica, we need to change. We need to change. Mr. Prime Minister, members of Parliament, we all need to change the system, man. You know, we all need to change the system. We need to put the youths first, because they're going down a road that's it's a deadly zone. They're going down the deadly zone, and if they reach the point of no return, it's kill or be killed. But, you know, I'm not a politician, you know, I'm not an activist, so I'm not even going to get into that. You know, maybe someday down the line when I get big and have the opportunity to be on that stage. But right now, for now, you know, I love Jamaica. You know, I love Jamaicans. I think we have one of the best cultures in the world, man. So yeah, but you know, big up to the police officer, man, for bringing me back down a memory lane and stuff like that. And you know, I gotta big him up, because he, back then he acted very professional, and you know, it wasn't his fault. It was the fault of the computer. It was the fault of the system. It wasn't his fault. You know, so. Man, police officers are good people, man, because what this guy did, this guy went into the store, and this guy paid for my gas, he paid for my lunch, and I said, man, why are you doing this, bro? I mean, you know, yeah, I got this, man. You know, I know, you know, you made a mistake in the past, and you know, it wasn't your fault and everything, but man, you ain't got to do this, man. And he was like, bro, this is just my way of showing you that we're not bad cops. You know, we're not the devil's advocate. We're just doing our job, man. And sometimes the system fail, and sometimes the system work good, but you know, it is what it is. We're just police officers doing our job, and you know, following protocol and stuff like that. And I was like, you know, man, thank you, man. I appreciate, man, but honestly, you didn't have to do this, bro. But you know, anyway, thank you, man. And you know, and I looked at it, man, and I'm like, man, I really. You know, I'm really getting the world, bro. You gotta meet people in person. You gotta meet people in person before you start bashing people and talking bad things about people. Really, you know, because you know, growing up, you know, even today, you still, you know, hear, you know, some older people, or you hear the youth saying, man, I hate cops. Cops are bad people. They're the devil. They're working for the devil. They're Babylonians and all of that stuff. And for me, I always keep a open heart, a open mind. I always keep an open mind. I always keep an open mind. I don't judge the book by its cover. I never try to judge the book by its cover, because I always try to put myself in someone else's shoes, you know. And that's why I'm advocating for all these homeless people, these less fortunate people, people of the hurricane victims and all of that stuff that's going through all these you know, this these depression, these stages of life where they have nowhere to live, they barely can feed, you know, water and all that stuff. That's why I started a movement to help these people. So you know, I put myself in these people's shoe, man, because you could go to your bed tonight as a millionaire, a billionaire, and tomorrow you wake up, you're broke. Everything is gone. Everything is gone. You know. So, and then what you're gonna do? You know, sometimes people bounce back, and some people find their self on the street. And I met with so many of these people, and I interact with them. I do stories with them, and I have so much videos on these people, guys. You guys, you gotta watch my channel, you know, subscribe to my channel, like, comment, share, you know, let me know what you think, you know, leave your comment in the comment section, you know, share the videos with friends and family, and you know, let me know what you think, because there's so much. Like I said, you know, I haven't even begun to tell my life story, and I haven't even begun to tell the story of these people and so many other people that I met in certain situations, certain circumstances, you know. And it's not like they want to be out there. They're trying to bounce back, because some of them, they live on the street, they live in the bushes, but they still come out and try to do a day's job to get a day's pay so they can feed themselves. And you know, they might be lucky today to get a day's work, and they might not, you know. So they're not bad people. It's just circumstances why they're out there, man. So yeah, but you know, like I said, you know, I can't talk about them on this video, because their story is, if I started to tell their story the next 100 years, I don't know where to end it. You know, this is just about, you know, a veteran police officer from New York City, Queens. Big up Jamaica, Queens. Jamaica, Queens. You know, you see why Jamaica is, you know, powerful and in so many ways, because there's so many places in Queens that named after Jamaica. Even here in Florida, we got Jamaica Street or Avenue or whatever. There's so many places that name after Jamaica, and other small islands and stuff like that. Because even here in Shady Hills, where I live, there's one little town. If you go in the town, it's like you're in the Caribbean, because you go in Jamaica Avenue, Trinidad Lane, you know, Antigua Circle, you name it, Barbados Avenue. It's like you're in an island. You know. So you know, but you know, this is just about this veteran cop, man, that make my day, you know, by paying for my gas and my lunch and stuff like that. And you know, making me feel special, man, you know. And it's something that I couldn't refuse, because it was like he commanded me, you know. That's one of the power that police officers have, man. When they speak, they don't have to demand you. They don't have to, you know, demand. They don't. It's the way they speak. It's not naturally like they're commanding you, but it's the way they speak. They were trained to speak to you. It's like, you know, you get that sense of urgency, like, you know. I don't think, if I don't accept this man's apology in this way, I don't think this man will probably ever forgive himself. And you know, he goes back to New York and get back to his job. And he might not be the same. He might not treat people the same. He might not treat his coworkers the same. He might start acting differently, you know. But if I do this little one thing for him, and he does this little one thing for me, you know, it probably changes his life. It changes my life because, you know, he's on vacation, and I want his vacation to continue to be glamorous and worth the trip, you know. And when he goes back to New York, he can tell his families and friends and neighbors that, man, you guys gotta go to Florida, bro. You guys gotta go. You guys gotta take a trip. You guys gotta take a vacation, you know. Yeah, man. So big up to the police officer. Love and respect, sir. Love and respect, because the reason why I respect you guys police officers, from, you know, because I had friends in the police force. I had a cousin that went to war many times, more than one. I also had another cousin that was in the Marines. He went overseas and did one tour, two tour, and came home. His body whole and intact. You know, bro. You know I love and respect you, man. And if you see watching this video, you know who you know yourself, man. Frankie, my boy, my cousin, my brother, my friend. Man, you did so much for me in such a short time that you know, a thousand thank you can never say enough. And that story is also for another day, another video, because I hope one day I can sit down with you, my brother, and we conversate, and you know, we go back down memory lane, man, because there's so many sorrows, but there's also so many joys, you know, we can recall, and so many stories to tell. So, you know, pick up yourself, Frankie, my brother. I love you, man, you know, always and forever, you know. So big up the Marines, you know. Love and respect to the Marines, you know, both the men and women. You know, big up yourself, because you took care of my brother when he came to you guys. You treat him with love and respect, and you showed him the way. You made him, you know, you turned him in from a boy into a man, and he came back a gentleman. So yeah, big up to the Marines. So, you know, like I always says, you know, like I always says, to my friends, my families, my well-wishers, and my subscribers, please do subscribe to my channel, African, FRICONN 50. Here on YouTube, just click the subscribe button, share the likes, the comments. You could go to my website at african50.com. You find a lot of videos there, a lot of, you know, footage, raw footage and stuff like that hasn't made it here on YouTube or social media. You could find me on Twitter, you could find me on Facebook, you could find me on Instagram. Yeah, and, you know, please walk good. Until next time.